Good morning. Let's get some movement into our day. There's a really happy, ecstatic dog behind me. He's with me. He's borrowed for a while and he's just doing his morning thing. So let's do our morning thing. Let's come into a position where we feel most comfortable. Let's just ground ourselves into our practice first of all. Doesn't matter what's going on around you. Let your world continue around you. Just find a little bit of peace for yourself in the next 15 minutes. So settle in. Be aware of what's going on, but just let it go along in its own way, outside of your own sphere of awareness. Be aware of yourself, of your body, of your breath. And breathe. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And again. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Let's bring the arms in now. Deep inhale, bring the arms up above the head. And deep exhale, bring the hands down. And again, breathe in, bring the arms up above the head. And breathe out, bring the hands back down to the ground. And let's just start moving our arms. Just nice, swaying movements. Get movement through the shoulder joint. Making those movements slightly larger. Let gravity do its work on your muscles. You will be very softly and lightly toning your arms as you move. And now let's cross the arms and open in front of the body. Just opening and closing the arms, stretching the chest. And perhaps now, as you open, moving the head up and down, rounding the shoulders as your head comes down, lifting the head as your arms open. So closing and opening. That is the sound of a happy dog. And keep opening and closing. Slowly bringing the arms into the air. And let's start moving now with the arms more side to side. So swaying one side and the other. Stretching through the side waist. And perhaps also let the head drop to your shoulders each side you sway. And slow that down now. We're going to start to make these moves more of a twist. So just start moving really slow, side to side. And come back to still. Let's just move the wrists a little bit, one way and then the other. Open and close the fingers, clenching the fists a little bit. And moving fists up and down, feeling the stretch across the top of the wrist. Well done. And release. Come to tabletop position. Come on to hands and knees. See, I'm going to face this way. So hands and knees. Let's just turn our hands to face inwards. So rotate one fist outwards, one wrist outwards. Bring it back onto the ground so your fingers are facing your knees. You should feel a stretch in the front of the wrist. If you want to, just lean back a little bit. That will intensify the stretch in the wrist a little bit more. And release. So slowly peel the fingers off the mat. Let's do the other side now. So rotate the wrist outwards. Bring the wrist and the hand back down to the ground, fingers facing the knees. Lean back a little bit if you need to. And uncurl. Bring hand back down to the mat. And let's get ready for our first downward facing dog. So tucking the toes. Just lifting the knees a little bit first. And slowly keep the knees bent. Lift the knees a bit higher. And start to work your chest towards your thighs. Your arms will be lengthening. So just a low downward dog to start with. And let's just come back down to the mat. Lower the knees nice and slow. You probably feel your core working. And let's do that again. So pull the belly in. Breathe in and lift the knees. Send the hips a little bit further back. Keep the knees bent. Chest working towards the thighs. Keep breathing normally. And on an out breath, bring your knees back down to the ground. Thought I'd lost the dog for a minute. And one more. Lift the knees. Breathe in. Send the chest down towards the thighs. And this time we're going to come up into full downward facing dog. So if it feels nice and you want to, just straighten the legs. And start bending at each knee one at a time. Just moving again as much as you like through your body. And feeling stretching down through the sides. And we're going to start taking a journey around our hips. So each major muscle group of our hips, we're about to stretch that now. So we're going to start with glute IT area in pigeon pose. So let's bring our right leg forward. Bring the knee towards the wrist and send the left leg back straight. And we're going to make this a yin pose. So arrange your leg into any position that feels comfortable on your knee. And we're working the outside of the hip and the IT band area. So we just start to bring our body down. So bring the upper body down on stacks of cushions. You can rest your head on the ground or on your hands. And the important thing here is that you feel a stretch on the outside of your right hip. So how your body looks, as long as you're not in pain in your knee, you might be leaning over a little bit to the right to feel that stretch. Just do what feels nice. We'll just hold this. We're going to hold this for 5 long breaths. And release your last breath and come back up onto your hands. And let's untuck our front leg, come back into downward facing dog. And let's just rest here for a moment. Let our body reset. Stretching the back of the body just in a moment of contemplation. One more breath. And let's switch sides with pigeon. So bringing the left knee forward this time. Stretching the right leg back. Being comfortable with the knee. Melting your upper body down. Just coming forwards to the ground. Resting on anything that you need to make yourself comfortable. Finding a stretch in the left thigh on the outside. Take 5 deep breaths here. And last breath. Good. And let's uncurl from pigeon. Slowly come up onto your hands first of all. Unpeel your left leg from your mat. Send it very gently back. Downward facing dog. Treat your body with care. We've been compressed a little bit here. Let's open up again now. Take a deep breath. And let's walk forward to the front of the mat. And then breathe in. Start to bring your arms up into the air. Bend your knees a little bit. Bring the arms really up wide. Open the chest. Rotate the arms backwards and forwards and up. Breathe in. Bend back a little bit. Rotate the arms back as you breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Rotate the arms up. Bend back. And breathe out. Rotate the arms backwards and down. Back to Tadasana. Let's take the inner groin this time. So we've done the outside. Let's take the inside. So we're going to start from Tadasana and move towards a forward fold. So breathe in. Arms up above the head. Breathe out. Bend forwards. Right leg. Step back. Drop the back knee. Sink the hips forwards and down. Breathe in. Bring your arms either to your knee, to your lower back, or up into the air. Feel a stretch through the right groin. Hold and breathe. Choices to either stay here in a more yang version. If your arms are getting tired, you can bring your hands down to your lower back. You've still got a back bend. Finding where you feel most comfortable. And if you want to, we can take a little twist here. So bring your left hand onto your left knee and bring your right hand to the ground. Twisting over to the left, just taking in your view. I'm looking at morning mist. Take 2 deep breaths. Good. And come back. Bring the hands back onto the knee. If you're feeling particularly strong and flexible this morning, we can take a quad stretch for the right leg. Tuck the toes first of all, and lifting up the back knee, holding onto the foot. If that feels nice, if that doesn't feel so good, just stay in the lunge position. Otherwise, hold and breathe. Keep your belly pulling in and up. Keep the shoulders relaxed and moving down. And release. Bring everything down. Let's step the front foot back into downward facing dog. And again, just walk the feet a little bit. Ease out sensations that you're feeling now through your groin. And let's take the other side. So this time we're going to step forwards with the front leg. The right leg. Step the right leg forwards. Drop the back knee. Sink the hips forwards and down. So you're now feeling a stretch in your left groin. And positions with the arms either on the knee, on the lower back, or sweeping the arms up into the air. Relax the shoulders. Let those tight tissues of the inner groin and the adductors start to feel a little bit of fire perhaps as you stretch those tissues. And if you want to now, we can take a twist. So bring your right hand onto your right knee. Left hand comes down to the ground and turning, looking out over your right shoulder. Keep breathing. Feel everything that's going on inside your body. Thanks, Louie. And let's untwist. Either come back to your lunge position, or if you feel that you want to take a stretch for the front of the left thigh, tuck the toes first, find balance, engage your core, be strong, and then lifting up the left foot, holding on with your left hand. Keep the head and chest up. If you need to hold on to something to hold this balance, and if you have a wall or a chair, anything that you can rest on. And if your knees are uncomfortable, folding the mat perhaps underneath your knees to give yourself a little bit more padding. Thank you for that gift of water. And release. Bring the hands back down. Bring the front foot back into hands and knees. But let's sink down straight away into child's pose. Breathe nice and deep. Let's take 5 more deep breaths in child's.
And one more, really make it count. Feel your ribs expand as you breathe. And slowly start to come back up. Bring yourself back into any position that you feel comfortable, just to end the practice. So come either to cross-legged, Padmasana, or Sukhasana, easy pose. Or be where I am now, Virasana, thunderbolt pose. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your focus inside. Again, just take another scan through your body, see how you feel. And let's close with 2 more long, deep, energizing breaths now. So breathe in, lift the arms all the way up above the head, look up and bend back slightly if you need to. And breathe out, bring the hands back down. And breathing in, sweep the arms up, palms together, look up. And breathe out, bring the hands back down. And bring the hands to the front of the heart. And bend forwards. Gratitude for your body, for the location you happen to be in today, and the time that you've just given yourself to your well-being. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go and play with the crazy, energetic dog.